Good morning. Welcome to one of March's Advisor Ambassador Program. My name is Zach Hewells, and I work on the NAFA National staff. We have a great speaker for you this morning. Her name is Ashleigh Rothhammer, and she will be presenting today's topic, which is Learn Exceptional Prospecting Practices. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to use the chat or the Q&A feature to reach out to me, and I will pass your question along to Ashleigh at the end of the presentation. This session will be recorded for your viewing pleasure at a later date. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ashleigh Rothhammer. Ashleigh, how are you doing on this fantastic Thursday?
Good, Zach. Thanks so much. How about yourself?
Pretty great.
That's wonderful. I hope everyone is having a great day as well and are getting excited for this upcoming weekend. Zach gave me a great introduction, but I wanted to kind of go through a little bit of my background to hopefully build some credibility with you guys, as that is what I do, is marketing. I'm the national sales manager for ITC. I've been a part of insurance marketing and in the insurance industry for 8+ years now. It's an industry that's been in my blood, my whole family's in it, so it's something that I grew up with. I'm excited to be here, not only because I love NAFA and what they stand for, but also because I love helping people. I tend to reach out to a lot of my friends in the industry and give a lot of help just so I can see people succeed. Being a NAFA ambassador is super honoring and special because I get to see new producers who are coming into this industry and see them grow. Nothing is more successful than seeing a friend accomplish something huge. So a little bit more about my background is that I was a variable annuity wholesaler a long time ago with Jackson and Transamerica. Then I went into marketing with ALM, which was Summit Business Media back in the day, and then insurance forums. ITC was actually a client of mine, and knowing how good they are to their clients and what a confident and wholeheartedly good company they are, it was a pleasure to start working for them a couple years ago. So, right now I'm in a position where I get to help agents of all lines of business and be around people that I trust and admire and grow people's books with them, which is wonderful. Today I'm going to share a little bit of how to crawl, then walk, then run when it comes to digital marketing. First, a little bit about my background titles. First, I wanted to show you a picture of my daughter and her puppy, basically to make you guys like me, but also just to kind of show my family and why I do what I do. I'm the national sales manager here, the current NAFA ambassador. I'm the Denver Rocky Mountain WIFS chapter president. I'm an advisor at Rothhammer Insurance Group. I'm an author for Think Advisor and the Lead Her blog with WIFS. I'm a past national board director with WIFS for their marketing side. Two-time recipient of the Pearl of Excellence Award, Pearl Circle of Excellence Award, and a wife and a mother, which are two of my favorite roles. I love to laugh, shop, shocking, and read, but I'm not a fan of Play-Doh or Lego carpets, and I'm sure some of you can relate. So let's crawl. Let's start here. First things first, you have to figure out who your target market is, and you have to know this pretty much before you start your business, but let's be real, it can always change. Second, you need an online presence. Google Street is the place to be, and if you're not there, you pretty much don't exist. And then third is to create content, and we'll get more into that later, but content is one of the key things that people don't do when they're trying to rank on Google. We'll get into more about specifics and efficiency of content in just a minute. So let's focus on your target market. Defining your target market or niche is the single most important business decision you can make as an entrepreneur. It's not enough to just say, my client is a certain gender, age group, or income bracket. Everybody wants that high net worth individual as their client. But you'll be more successful when you can know the type of lifestyle and the purchasing decisions that your clients make. You know where they shop, you know how they shop, you know the kind of research that they do. To get this going, create a target market list with outlines of your ideal client. The better quality the list is, the better success that your target marketing plan will have. This will also give you you're more likely to convert your prospects when you know exactly how they behave. There are 4 sources more like 3, from which you can build your marketing prospect list from. Referrals. This is a huge one. This has been around a long time. A lot of people, this is kind of the old way to get businesses, referrals and networking and talking to people. The second would be to look at online networking through LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, even Google Plus or other online networks. And then, a third is going to be through digital marketing lines. So website visitors or opt-in e-newsletter emails, or even people who click on some of your posts in social media. If you don't have an email opt-in list, make this a priority. As I'll talk a little bit later on, email marketing is one of the most important things you can have, because it gives you the ability to share your voice. It gives you a platform. Let's talk about your website. It's usually the first interaction that policyholders will have with your company. If they don't like what they see within 7 to 10 seconds, they'll leave. They'll go onto another website. They'll go to John down the street and buy something from him. It really is all about credibility, and what is the saying? Don't trust a skinny chef. Well, don't trust an advisor who doesn't have, doesn't represent themselves well online. Include plenty of call to actions on your website. These are some actual items. Include a ton of call to actions. Have your content front and center. If you're a FINRA person, follow those guidelines. There's a lot of things that need to be done, like a broker-dealer check and things like that. But install chat features if you can, based on rules, and make sure that you're speaking your target's language. A lot of people don't understand that Google has a Spanish translator that you can put in that can, definitely bring in your English-speaking clients as well as your Spanish-speaking clients. So, that's just something really important to look for when doing your website. I could go into other things about your website, such as your colors and their meanings, and the kind of people that even a blue color would bring in. But I think that would go into a whole another conversation, and we can definitely talk about that one-on-one if you guys want to know more about that. Okay, content. Content is where we really need to dive in. Content is clean, but relevant content is king. You can have all the content that you want, but if the content isn't effective, then it doesn't matter. Also, you need to think about unique content. So unique content is basically, it's not repurposing content, but it is, it's taking content that you are writing that doesn't copy anybody else or have anybody else's thoughts, and putting it on your website. A lot of companies out there will say that they have SEO content for you, but a lot of times it's repurposed from a main outline, and they change the company name or the geographical location, and that just doesn't help. A blog is really important. People are afraid of blogs all the time because they think that they have to write these long, posts, but you really don't. You could do a question of the week and answer. You could actually set these up so that you take a Sunday and write 10 questions and 10 answers, and then post them on your site, post date them on your site. So you really don't have to touch it for 6 months or so. Some examples, let me go back. Some examples of life insurance content would be the most common misconceptions, what amount of life insurance coverage is best for your family, and so on. I just grabbed these life insurance examples because they're a hot button with regards to my clientele. Carry out the right conversation. So basically what I'm saying is do your research. Get your prospect to open your message. Getting them to open your message really takes a lot of learning about your target market. It takes a lot of leading on. As you can imagine, scammers are huge in this industry and any other industry. And they get people to open their emails, and they do it by a leading question. It's actually one of the highest open emails out there, and it's a proven strategy that works. And so, take it from them that use a sentence that is going to get people to look at your content, not saying spam them, but use that idea that you know, you can get people to look at your content and read what you're trying to say to them so that it can help them further down the road with any of their policies or anything like that. What else? I don't know if anybody has any questions about sending emails, but when it comes to proactively reaching out to your clients, we have a thing here called Agency Buzz, and I could talk to you about that too if you guys wanted to know. It's where you have emails that are set up and working behind the scenes so that you're not having to take out of your own, I don't know if I should open this chat thing. You could take it out of your, you're pretty much taking it out of your own hands and putting it into a machine so you're not having to waste your time doing that. Okay, let's talk about walking, next step. And so content usually flows into email marketing and then into search engine optimization, as well as backlinks and social media. So here's a little bit more about email marketing and the agency buzz that I just talked about. I'll be posting something about our email marketing webinars that we have going on. We do it once a month, and we have some that talk about website marketing and some that talk about sending out emails. You don't have to be an ITC member to sign up for these, and they're great information. Also at ITC, and I don't mean to plug so much, we just have so much good information. We have webinars about our systems that you can, use in your own personal agency and advisor roles. So let's go to the next one. SEO. Now SEO is a dear, dear thing to me. There are actually over 200 ranking factors when it comes to SEO. But what you really need to know is that it takes a lot of time. And I think setting up the expectations that it's going to be something like a bamboo plant, right? So you water a bamboo plant for 90 days, and on the 91st day, it grows 6 feet. That's kind of how SEO works. There are some things that you must have in order to be successful with SEO. So before you try and bring this kind of a theory into your marketing plan, make sure that you have the geographical population in order to reach people. If you're in a city like Dallas and you have 500,000 people, and then you're in, a rural area like, gosh, I can't even think of something, but somewhere out in the middle of nowhere with maybe 20,000, well, that's still pretty big, but 20,000 people, or even some people come to me with 4,000 people. Honestly, it's just not going to work because you don't have enough people to reach out to. Also make sure that the location that you're using when utilizing SEO is your brick and mortar location. That's the town that you need to focus on when looking into numbers for SEO. Some other things to talk about search engine optimization is that it's just a ton of work. So unless you're willing to put in the effort, hire outside. Go to a company that doesn't guarantee results because that's impossible, but that also doesn't make you a checklist and doesn't check things off. That works with you one-on-one to find your target audience with your geographical area and your goals in mind. Backlinks. So backlinks are any link in or on a website page that points or links to your website page. I wrote this article for ThinkAdvisor, and I wanted to kind of make this the example. I wrote, I don't need SEO, I'm an insurance agent. And in this article, I backlinked to my past article, Does Your Website Make a Good Virtual Impression? Basically, I did that so if anybody had any other questions about what I was talking about, they could go look at previous content that I had written, and it was easy to find. But that also gives my article strength. So it helps ThinkAdvisor. It also helps ITC. Further in that article, I did backlink to ITC to content that would help agents understand other points that I was making. Backlinks are important for a number of reasons. They are good for quantity, so you want a lot of people to think you're credible. quantity, or that's quantity. Quality is the places that are backlinking to you. So you don't want somewhere that doesn't have a good reputation backlinking to you. That would actually be a negative backlink and could hurt you. So backlinking can be good or bad, and you want to make sure you're talking with someone who knows what they're doing in order to not hurt your website, but help your website. It really helps with search engine optimization, and that's one of the content and backlinks are two of the leading causes that people's SEO strategies do not work. So definitely talk to, sorry about that. Definitely talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about when going into a strategy like this. Here's some examples of backlinks that you could do yourself. So partner backlinks, such as CPAs, realtors, other professions out there that could have a target client that you're looking for. Nonprofit backlinks are always great because everybody is always looking to help others, and nonprofits are always looking to give their supporters quality representation in other business lines. Unlinked mentions, so text or articles even, and then the Chamber of Commerce backlinks. They're directory links. There's a ton of directories out there that are really great to be on, and the business ones are some of the best. Like Denver Business Journal is a huge one to have a backlink from because there's a lot of professionals on there, and you're just going to find a lot of your audience on there. Get social with it. Here's the thing about social media. A lot of people want to start with social media. Social media is definitely down the line, definitely after you get a website because you want to make yourself look credible, and then email lists. Once you have a good opt-in email list, you can send an email out to them, to your clients, to come and get social with you. Stay there for your updates. Be there for, whether it's engaging or promotional content. But until you build that base, getting social with it or paying someone to do your social media is sometimes a waste of money. So when you're building up your social base, you do want to do an 80-20. It does change on different platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., on what your percentage of lifestyle versus business should be. And then there's also a difference of how many times you should post. So for example, Facebook, 3 times a week is good. Twitter, I think it's 10 times a week is a max, I think. It depends on how big your list is. But with splitting it up with lifestyle and business, you want to look at 80% engaging content. So blog posts, inspirational posts, tips, hacks, questions, contests. Contests is a big thing. What's the last photo of your family? Or funny, what's your best Halloween costume? A lot of people will engage in that. Images, infographics, links to external articles, maybe ones at Think Advisor or ones that you've written at another publication. The promotional content with 20% is going to be reviews, which are huge, right? Job opportunities, company facts, cross-platform promotion, sales and deals, and links to service pages. Be careful if you are FINRA licensed. I can't stress this enough. You want to make sure that anything that you are sharing is a reflection, is basically you're saying it to a client. So if any, just be careful with social media. I would read up about FINRA Rule 2210 to make sure that you're not putting yourself in jeopardy of even saying you like something on Facebook that would not be good to show to a client. Run. So let's run. Let's get to that next level. Let's dive in deep and see what the next steps are to get your marketing plan really rocking and rolling. So pay-per-click or AdWords. Pay-per-click is, I'll go into that in a little bit more, but pay-per-click, video marketing, and retargeting are three strategies that I would hire externally for. Not only is it really tedious to learn all the tricks in the trade, but the algorithms do change. And so if you are selling insurance, when do you have time to learn this kind of when do you have time to become an expert at these 3 theories, these 3 ideas? You don't. So leave it to the experts because it does take a lot of time. So when it comes to pay-per-click, there's a lot of steps. Pay-per-click is in a lot of places, not just AdWords. AdWords is the Google platform for pay-per-click, but you could do pay-per-click, let's say, I think Dex does some, but they're in places that are not insurance. You have Yelp doing pay-per-click, and that's basically just geographical pay-per-click. You have Facebook that's pay-per-click. You have, you know, a lot of different places out there that will give you clicks at a cost, right? So here's a diagram of what you're looking for when you're doing a pay-per-click campaign. You've got to do your keyword research. You've got to do your ad creation, your landing page development, your account setup, tracking, that's huge, and testing, because you have to run tests in order to see what works and what doesn't. Launching campaigns, monitoring that performance, assessing the campaign and seeing how good it did, and then, you know, deciding if you want to continue. Something to think about with pay-per-click is you're in a gambling game at this point. You're betting against other people, basically, for a lead. So when you're doing it, make sure that you have a lot of credibility. Actually, pay-per-click can really help SEO. It's not the other way around. Some people have their own theories. Again, a lot of people think differently about this because there's no proven way that's right. But I believe that pay-per-click really does help search engine optimization. But definitely speak to someone who knows what they're doing about this. Video marketing. So this is, let me see if I can get this to work. This is Susan Combs. She is the 2018 Broker of the Year and a dear mentor of mine. She does a ton of video marketing. In fact, I do have some stats here that are just outrageous about video marketing. For example, YouTube has over 1 billion users, almost 1/3 of total internet users. More than 500 million hours of videos are watched on YouTube a day. There is no doubt that videos are one of the leading ways of marketing nowadays, especially when people don't want to come to you and ask you what certain things are when they're buying them from you. A lot of people do their own research. Let me think about another stat that's really important to share. The average user spends 88% more time on a website with video. I have our Denver WIFS page. I actually have the video of when WIFS is at in the stock exchange, at the stock exchange, and ringing the bell. And everybody loves to watch that because it's just something interesting. I've seen a lot more clicks on that page than any other. So with that said, there's a lot of things that you should think about with regards to video marketing this year. You don't have to have a team of videographers to do this. You can use your smartphone and do it right at your desk, and then edit it on, you know, your Mac or even your iPhone itself. Your smartphone is perfectly capable of recording video that's good enough for the internet. Retargeting. So this is something I like to talk about, but it's mainly for larger companies. So the companies that do this, that I've worked with on retargeting, have been carriers, not necessarily individual agents. But if you're big enough and you have a big enough voice and space, like some of the people that speak at some of our conferences, this is a good way to market. Retargeting is that funny little thing that follows you around all over the internet. So for example, when you're on Google and you're searching for something, I think actually I have an example in here of I was retargeted. Excuse me, right here. So King Soopers is my local grocery store. So I was retargeted when I went to get this picture by King Soopers. They get cookies from when you go to their website, and then they literally track you all over the internet. Sorry, I hope you guys aren't getting dizzy. I'm going back to the other page. But basically, it's something to follow you around to keep that company top of mind so that when you're ready to buy, you're going to that company. It's a very successful move, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. The costs on retargeting are pretty high per lead, so consider that when going into it. So action items. I wanted to leave you guys with something to do going forward. First is to find your target audience. Make sure to write it down. Do a T-chart. Make sure on this target audience, you know where they shop, what they do, how they shop, like millennials. And this target audience are maybe the older side of the clients, maybe senior benefits, right? So know that they are online, but that they like more simplistic sites, you know? So try and get a little bit of mix of both so that you're appealing to both our audiences. Build the website. Get it done. A lot of agents will go out there to independent, outside of the industry website companies start building it and then won't finish because it's so tedious. Just get it done and get a platform that you can manipulate on the back end so that when your content changes, you can change that content. Or when the industry changes, you can change the content to be relevant. Build a marketing plan. Get a plan in place. 6-month plan, a 9-month plan, a year, 3 years, 5 years. Write it down, get it in place, and start moving on it. Build your social media profiles. But when you build your social media profiles, make sure to be active on them. It's better to have no social media profiles than ones that are dead. Especially if they don't have photos or any information. If it's just your name, it's pointless. It can actually hurt you more than help you. But make sure to build those profiles, put some time into it, and then link them to your website. And also, start to email your clients. Get a platform where you can reach out to people and you can see, you can share what you guys are doing in your agency. You can share, when your events are. You can ask them to follow you socially. You can do other kind of emails that you would normally send one-to-one, but in a larger, more efficient way. For more of our insurance marketing tips and tricks at ITC, join us on Twitter. The Masters of Marketing is what I'm going to be sharing that everybody can get on board with each month. The resources page at ITC, check out the NAFA, YAT, Facebook, and LinkedIn pages because there will be posts up there as well. Or reach out to me with any kind of questions you have. I'm definitely willing to answer as much as I can. And I'd love to help with any of your guys' marketing needs. So I don't know, Zach, how I do question and answers here. What is your mentor's name? Sarah someone. It's Susan Combs. She is Susan Combs of Combs & Co. in New York. Are there any more questions? Okay.
Looks like we don't have questions.
Okay.
We do have a hand raised, though. Karen.
So I opened that one. I think she was asking about Susan Combs.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Questions? Yeah, she did. Okay. So here's one. Karen asks, as I'm new, how do I know what my market is?
So it just depends on your product, right? So if you're doing, let's say you're doing life insurance, what are you selling life insurance for? Is it for income protection? Is it for final expense? So those are going to be your markets. Also, for example, if I were to sell a life policy, it's for income protection. So my target market is younger families that are just starting out, because if one spouse goes, how does the other survive with the kids? So there's a target market. Just ask yourself those questions. Who am I trying to help?
All right. And another question we have here from Michelle is, how do I access the slides or this entire presentation? I'll go ahead and take that one. We will be making this recording available to you at a later date, and you will get a follow-up email that contains the recording. I will also be posting it in the Facebook group if you are on the Facebook group as well.
Does anybody have any questions about search engine optimization, about timelines, about their own area that I could possibly help answer? Okay, no problem. Well, hey, my number and my email is right there on the bottom left-hand of the slide. Give me a call if you guys have any questions, or shoot me over an email. I'd love to help in any way that I can.
Ashleigh, you were amazing as always. Appreciate you hopping on to share your knowledge with us.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Everyone have a great day.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. And if you need any follow-up questions, just feel free to reach out to us. Our contact will be made available to you.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.